Whether you're raising a puppy right now or you already have a reactive or biting dog, it's never too late to do better by them. Most hyper dogs are understimulated. Train their energy instead of fighting it. Work with their breed. Herding balls, sniff games, sniff classes, swimming. A great way to drain their energy first thing of the day is to feed meals using Kongs, puzzle feeders, scatter feeding, and treat toys. At the end of the day, dogs don't wake up wanting to be anxious, reactive, or afraid. Those behaviors come from a nervous system that doesn't feel safe. I've worked with almost every breed, every personality, and every level of reactivity, and one thing has always stayed true. When we look out for what's best for the dog instead of forcing them to fit into our world, behavior changes. In this video, I'm going to show you how to raise a puppy to prevent anxiety and reactivity, help reactive or biting dogs feel safer, drain energy in healthy, productive ways, and change your dog's outlook on life. Before we talk about puppies, training, or behavior, I need you to understand why this matters so much. I have over 20 years experience working with dogs, including dogs as a veterinary assistant and in multiple animal shelters, and I've seen firsthand something that breaks my heart every single time. Dogs being surrendered, dogs being labeled aggressive, dogs being euthanized, and in so many of those cases, it was completely preventable. These were not bad dogs. These were dogs whose owners were never taught how dogs learn, how dogs feel safe, or how to meet their needs. Lack of education leads to fear. Fear leads to behavior problems, and behavior problems are the #1 reason dogs lose their homes. When owners are taught early, so much suffering can be avoided for both dogs and people. And if you're watching this and thinking, my dog is already reactive, my dog already bites, or I feel like I've failed, I want you to hear this clearly. You have not failed, and it is not too late. I've raised and worked with adopted dogs that were anxious, reactive, and fearful, and with the right changes to training, enrichment, and lifestyle, they went on to live amazing full lives. In this video, I'm going to teach you how puppies develop from the very beginning, how early experiences shape behavior for life, how to prevent anxiety and reactivity, and how to help adult reactive dogs live their best life. This is about prevention, education, and compassion, because when we change a dog's outlook on the world, everything changes. If you want a calm, confident dog, not anxious, reactive, or biting, then what you do early matters more than any training tool you'll ever buy. Between 8 and 12 weeks of age, a puppy's brain is literally being built. This is when experiences shape their brain and architecture for life. Early socialization, exposure to the world, positive interactions with people, and learning from other well-balanced dogs, especially bite inhibition, teaches puppy one core belief: the world is safe. That belief changes everything. But if you're watching this thinking, my dog is already reactive, my dog already bites, there is still so much you can do. I say this not just professionally, but personally. I've worked with almost every breed, every personality, and every level of reactivity, and one thing has always stayed true. When we look out for what's best for the dog instead of forcing them to fit into our world, behavior changes. This isn't about dominance or fear-based training. This is about teaching dogs that the world isn't something they need to defend themselves from. Starting from the very beginning. To truly understand dog behavior, anxiety, reactivity, and biting, we have to start at the very beginning, before a puppy ever comes home. Puppies don't just magically appear to live ready in our human world. They come into existence through a process that, when done responsibly, is meant to prepare them for life. And when that process is rushed, interrupted, or done for profit instead of welfare, we see the consequences later. From the moment puppies are born, their mother is the first teacher. In the first weeks of life, she teaches them safety, calmness, boundaries, frustration tolerance. When puppies nurse too aggressively, bite too hard, or become overwhelming, the mother naturally gets up, walks away, gently corrects them, and that teaches puppies an incredibly important lesson. Too much pressure makes good things go away. This is the foundation of emotional regulation. This is where puppies first learn how to self-control. The first 8 weeks of a puppy's life are not about humans training them. They're about dogs training dogs. During this time, puppies learn how to settle, how to handle frustration, how to interact safely, how to regulate their emotions. These lessons cannot be replicated by people. A puppy's siblings are just as important as their mother. Through play, puppies learn bite inhibition, body language, communication, when to stop if a puppy bites too hard, the other puppy yelps, disengages, stops playing, and the lesson is immediate. If I use my mouth too hard, the fun stops. That's how puppies learn mouth control. Dogs who miss this stage often grow up mouthy, reactive, quick to escalate, not because they're aggressive, but because they never learned regulation. When puppies are taken from their mother and siblings too early, which happens frequently with puppy mills and irresponsible irresponsible breeding, critical lessons are missed. That leads to poor bite inhibition, low frustration tolerance, higher anxiety, difficulty reading social cues. These dogs aren't broken, they're undereducated. Everything that comes after the 8 to 12 week socialization window, human bonding, confidence building, rests on what puppies learned from their mother and siblings first. The lessons learned from mom and siblings create the foundation for what comes next. Puppies who learn pressure control, communication, calm disengagement are far better prepared for human handling, safe socialization, confidence in new environments, and this is why ethical breeders and rescues wait until puppies are developmentally ready before placing them in homes. A puppy's first teachers are not humans, they're dogs. When puppies are allowed to learn from their mother and siblings, they gain skills that protect them for life. And when those lessons are missing, our job later is not to punish, it's to teach what was never learned. When you safely take your dog out into the world, to the bank, on errands, through parking lots, into elevators, around new people, their brain learns new things are normal and humans are safe. I don't need to panic. If a puppy misses this window, their brain wires the opposite way. A lifetime of anxiety is often preventable. Not all breeders properly socialize the puppies. When you bring a puppy home, you're responsible for completing this critical work. Some breeders are in it for the money and not for the well-being of the animal. If your puppy has been adopted after this crucial socialization period of 8 to 13 weeks and they have not been socialized, it's important to act on this immediately. Most breeders just keep them confined in a pen or crate all day, and they have no socialization with other breeds, often resulting in little dogs being scared of big dogs. If you take a Rottweiler puppy in a pack with Pomeranians, he will adapt to little dogs as he grows. So that's just one thing. This is something people need to understand before bringing a puppy home. Puppy mills are dangerous, not just physically, but behaviorally. Dogs raised in puppy mills are often isolated, confined, understimulated, deprived of normal human interaction, and most importantly, not properly socialized during this critical 8 to 12 week window when the brain is being shaped. When puppies don't experience normal household noises, gentle human handling, different environments, positive exposures to people and dogs, their brain learns one thing: the world is unsafe. That belief follows them for life unless it's actively worked on. This is why dogs from puppy mills are far more likely to develop severe anxiety, fear-based reactivity, shutdown behavior, fear biting. These dogs are not broken, they were never given the tools they needed. You can absolutely help these dogs, and I've worked with many, but the truth is, missing early socialization creates lifelong challenges. That doesn't mean these dogs can't live good lives. It means they need patience, structure, safe environments, and realistic expectations. Responsible breeders handle puppies daily, expose them to sounds and people, build confidence before puppies ever leave. Puppy mills focus on profit, not mental health, and the cost is paid later by the dog and the family. Many behavior problems people struggle with didn't start in the home. They started before the puppy was ever adopted. This is why adoption matters so much. When you adopt a dog, you're not just bringing home a pet. You're giving a second chance to a life that already exists. Millions of dogs end up in shelter, not because they're bad dogs, but because of lack of education, unrealistic expectations, irresponsible breeding, or people not understanding what dogs actually need. One of the biggest myths is that shelter dogs are broken or dangerous. That's simply not true. Many shelter dogs are under-socialized, not aggressive. They're anxious because of instability. They've never been taught how to feel safe. With structure, patience, and the right outlets, these dogs often become the most loyal, loving companions. When people choose adoption, demand for mass breeding drops. That's how real change happens. Every adoption frees up space and shelter, reduces euthanasia rates, and takes away power from puppy mills. Crates are tools, not replacements for care. Dogs need breaks, stimulation, and human interaction. Use neighbors, sitters, or services like Rover if you're away. Crate training is not a lifestyle. So some things you can do with your puppy now is safe socialization even before their full vaccination. Avoid vet clinic floors, dog parks, and unknown dogs. Use controlled environments, trusted dogs, and wash their paws before and after outings. Use a carrier or a hoodie with a pocket if they're not vaccinated, and if you're worried about parvo or other diseases, you can safely take them out. One thing many people underestimate is just how powerful a dog's nose is. A dog experiences the world through scent first, not sight. Their nose is the most powerful sense, and using it is deeply fulfilling for them. When dogs sniff, their brain releases calming chemicals. Sniffing actually lowers stress and anxiety. This is why so many dogs love car rides, running errands with you, short trips, new environments. Even if they never leave the car, they're still smelling new places, processing new information, and mentally engaging with the world. 10 minutes of sniffing can be more mentally exhausting than a long walk. Hand feeding teaches puppies that humans are safe and rewarding. Have adults and kids hand feed the puppies with supervision to build trust and prevent fear-based reactions. Touch puppies gently all over their neck, face, ears, paws, mouth, kiss their face, and handle them calmly to prevent defensive biting later in life. Train grooming early. Introduce baths, nail trims, brushing, and gentle restraint early to prevent a lifelong fear. You're gonna make sure it's all out of your fur. Nothing scary. Good boy. Yeah. Very good. Hi. Did you have fun? Out. Okay. Well done. Yay! Good boy. Good boy. You did it. Yeah. Punishment-based training, shock collars, whipping, yelling creates fear, not understanding. Imagine learning golf and being whipped every time you made a mistake. That creates anxiety, not skill. Fear-based training leads to anxiety, shutdown behavior, and reactivity. Positive reinforcement keeps the brain open to learning. Treats are a starting tool, but praise, voice, affection, and engagement matter more long-term. So how to help an older reactive dog? Reactive dogs can learn at any age. They're overwhelmed, not bad dogs. Management comes before training. Avoid dog parks and chaotic environments. Don't set your dog up to fail. If you know they're reactive, don't take them to dog parks or off-leash areas where the public is hoping they'll change them. You need to protect them. Use alternatives like private dog parks, sniff spots, long leads, and fenced yards, obstacle courses, training, swimming lessons. Not all dogs enjoy dog parks, and that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with them. In fact, many well-balanced, stable dogs actively dislike dog parks. Dog parks are a human idea, not a dog need. Dog parks exist because humans want dogs to socialize. Dogs don't have a biological need to greet every stranger, interact with dozens of unfamiliar dogs, play in chaotic environments. That expectation is a human emotion, not a dog one. Most dogs prefer a small social circle, predictable interactions, calm, familiar companions. That's normal dog behavior. Dog parks often include uncontrolled energy, rude play styles, constant pressure, no escape routes. For many dogs, that's mentally exhausting and stressful, not fun. A dog can be well socialized, emotionally stable, obedient, and still not want to interact with unfamiliar dogs. Just like humans don't enjoy every social event, dogs don't either. When dogs are repeatedly forced into situations they don't enjoy, their stress hormones rise, their tolerance drops, reactivity increases, and that's how dog park incidents happen. Your dog doesn't need a crowd, they need fulfillment. A happy dog isn't one that loves everyone, it's one that feels safe and understood. When we stop projecting our social expectations onto dogs, we create calmer, healthier relationships. Most hyper dogs are understimulated. Train their energy instead of fighting it. Work with their breed. Herding balls, sniff games, sniff classes, swimming. A great way to drain their energy first thing of the day is to feed meals using Kongs, puzzle feeders, scatter feeding, and treat toys. At the end of the day, dogs don't wake up wanting to be anxious, reactive, or afraid. Those behaviors come from a nervous system that doesn't feel safe. When we shift how we train, how we exercise them, how we stimulate their mind, and how we expose them to the world, we don't just change behavior. We change their entire outlook on life. I've seen dogs labeled as problem dogs, aggressive dogs, or lost causes go on to live calm, happy, fulfilled lives, not because they were punished into submission, but because someone finally listened to what they needed. Whether you're raising a puppy right now or you already have a reactive or biting dog, it's never too late to do better by them. Progress takes patience, change takes consistency, but it is always possible. If this video helped you or if you're struggling with a specific issue, comment below and tell me what you're dealing with. You are not alone, and chances are your question can help someone else too. And remember, when dogs feel safe, understood, and fulfilled, everything changes.